Alright guys, welcome back to 9th edition. It's battle report time again. Death from Above is here to present this one for you, so let's get through it. We've got Space Wolves versus Tyranids. These guys haven't faced off against each other in a long while, and what better time to bring them together than 9th edition. We've got Jake back again. He's going to head off the Tyranids and I'm going to head off my Space Wolves. The lists are a little bit different because it's at 1500 points, and because of the points shuffles, it's some things have gone up, some things have gone down. I find the things that have gone up significantly, and the things that have gone down are kind of middle of the road. So we'll see how that goes. But we'll go over the Space Wolves first and see what we got. So this is 1500 points of Space Wolves. So we've got a battalion, so 12 command points. So HQs, we got Ragnar Blackmane. He's going to be the Warlord today. The next to him, we got Njal, the Stormcaller. Psychic powers, he's going to have the Stormcaller, the Fury Spirits, I can't say the two dogs' names, don't make me say it, and Living Lightning. So they'll be his three. So, and then obviously we've got Bjorn, because you just don't go anywhere without Bjorn. Especially in this edition now, being able to move and fire his heavy weapons without penalty, he is a beast. Alright, so they're the three HQs. Troops, we've got Grey Hunters, 6 of them there. One's in Terminator armor, Power Fist, Storm Bolter. Behind them, they've got the pack leader. He's wearing a Power Fist as well. Then we've got the other guys have got chainswords, bolt guns, and then at the back here we've got one guy with a plasma gun. Coming across, we've got a 5-man unit of intercessors with auto bolt rifles, and the wolf pack leader has a Power Fist. And then over here we've got Blood Claws. We've got Terminator pack leader with Thunderhammer Storm Shield, and then behind him we've got Power Fist toting pack leader, and then we've got chainswords and bolt pistols and everyone else. Then for elites, we have one Wolfen Dreadnought with Fenrisian axe and shield, fast attack, 5 Thundercav. They're all armed. We've got the pack leader. He's got Storm Shield and Thunderhammer, and then everybody else has got a Storm Shield and a Wolf Claw. Alright, and then last but not least, we got heavy support, Long Fangs. We got Terminator with Cyclone Missiles, Storm Bolter and Wolf Claw. Yeah, I know I need to change that to a Storm Shield. You just keep telling me, I'll get there one day. Then we got 3 rockets and 2 las cannons. So that is 1500 points of Space Wolves, and hopefully they'll do some work today. It's there's a few units missing, but that's okay. Coming over here, we've got a TIE Fleet Saber using the Kraken rules, so the fast moving guys, because Jakey Boy wanted to test out. He was watching some other channels with some battle reports with the Gene Steels and Swarmlord, and he wanted to try that tactic out, and I said, well, why not, mate? It's a thing. So let's go through it. Battalion again. So he's got Swarmlord. Swarmlord. Well, he's Swarmlord. He swarms around and does swarmy things. He's got Psychic Powers Catalyst and the Horror. And then next to him, we've got Broodlord. And the Broodlord's Psychic Powers are Catalyst. Obviously, all these other guys know Smite as well. But yep. Then for troops, we've got 1, 2, 3-man units of warriors, all with bone swords, death spitters and a venom cannon in each. Then at the front, we've got a 20-man unit of Gene Stealers with rending claws and scything talons. You know what I'm trying to say. Alright, and then up the back, we've got heavy support. We've got 1 Exocrine, and then we've got a brood of 3 Carnifexes. They all have heavy venom cannons, death spitters with slimer magnets, enhanced sensors, and spore cysts. So they're good at shooting and good at dodging bullets as well. So that's the 1500 points of Tyranids. This is the 1500 points of Space Wolves. So hopefully this is a good matchup, and we'll roll up a mission and we'll get back to you real soon. Alright guys. Alright guys, we've got a mission. We've got some things going on. What have we got? So this one, custom mission again. We're really enjoying making custom missions, just stuff that we come up with. It's cool. Now, Jakey boy seen these counters on my shelf and thought, Infestation. So that's the name of it today, Infestation. So in the center of the board we have this gestation pool. Now if you hold this gestation pool in the start of your command phase, you get 5 victory points. Then 1 foot in 6 directions around the gestation pool are smaller nodes. Now these nodes, if you hold them at the start of your command phase, you get 2 command points. Now that starts from the first turn, so as you can see both armies have sort of set up to take advantage of grabbing those 2 points straight away. At this current juncture, the Tyranids have the first turn and will have the first turn. So when I deployed, I had to risk, because of the massive movement of these guys, do I start on this or on this objective, or do I start at the back of the board? As you can see, I've started on the objective, so I'm all like, come at me, brah! Alright, so let's go through the deployment. It's pretty straightforward. It's very center board heavy. So, Jakey boy set up. He's got Tyranid warriors, Carnifex brood, I don't even know how to say it. Bleh. Coming across here, we've got a 20-man blob of gene seals sort of spanned across the front. Then coming behind them, Swarm Lord, Brood Lord, another warrior squad, and then the Carnifex. Exocrine. And if we come around here, we'll go over the Space Wolves deployment. So over on this objective, starting from the right going across, we got Ragnar Blackmane. And we got Bjorn Bjorn. Meow. We got Meow. Meow. And then in front, we've got the 5 Thundercav. Now the reason I've done this is because if he does decide to come running across the board with these nasty critters, I've measured to have these in so that I can heroically intervene and start chopping heads. Coming across here, Wolf and Dreadnought. Just back up, got him behind the building, don't want him getting smoked too early. Then coming over here we got Bjorn. In front of him, the Grey Hunters, and then in front of them, the Intercessors. Then, perched up here, we've got the Long Fang squad. So we've got the pack leader all the way up the top. And then I paid the command point to outflank my Blood Claws. That is a Space Wolves stratagem that a lot of people asked in the last video Space Wolves were on. Yeah, I can't remember. I'll look in the book, but it's a stratagem. Now, for the purpose of the game too, all of these buildings that we're looking at here all have the obscured rule. So if you can't see their base, neg 1 to hit, and they also give +1 to your cover save. So just across the board, just make it simple. If you do hear a humming in the background too, it's raining here, which is beautiful because I just put my lawn in. So yeah, let it grow. All right, so there's the setup, the mission, the deployment, the whole lot. What we'll do is we'll get on with Tyranid's first turn and see if there's any Space Wolves left. I really didn't want this to happen, but it's happened. Alright guys. Alright guys, end of Tyranid turn 1. Jakey boy's made some moves and done some plays. So first things first, the start of his command phase, he had a unit on here and a unit on here. So he scored 4 victory points for that. He moved the Carnifexes forward. He moved the warriors up behind him. He moved the Exocrine across. He moved these warriors up. He moved this Brood Lord up and this Swarm Lord up. And obviously the Gene Stealers ended up where you thought they would. Now, shooting wise, all the Carnifexes and the Exocrine shot into the Long Fangs and killed all of them bar the Terminator, which I obviously straight away paid the points to make him a lone wolf. Because it was neg 1 to hit him because of the cover and the extra save, and that actually made it quite hard to remove him out of the cover. Then if we come across here, these guys here they ran, but then they shot over into the Thundercab, but it didn't do anything because the accuracy went down, but that's okay. Then obviously Swarm Lord ran up, this Brood Lord ran up, he cast Catalyst on these guys, and then they charged in and had something like bloody 68 attacks, I think it was. Oh, it was something ridiculous. With the guys that were in combat, they managed to kill 1 Thunderwolf and wound 1, which was actually pretty underwhelming, but being tough 5 and having a 3-up invon save, it just didn't do much. And then obviously I heroically intervened in with Ragnar. Now, I attacked with the Thunder Cav, killed some, and then attacked with Ragnar, and then I paid to honour the chapter and attacked with him again. And there's still 5 of them left, and they're in synapse range of this guy. So they're just going to stay there. So after Ragnar attacking twice, and the Thunderwolves attacking, I repeat, there's still bloody 5 of them. We killed 15 of them, but with the 5-up invon and the 5-up feel no pain, they just wouldn't go anywhere. Alright, so that's the end of Tyranid turn 1. Pretty solid. Removed a lot of my heavy weapons, and as you can see, they've tied up these guys over here. So we'll see what we can do in the Space Wolves turn to return the favour and get into these guys. Alright guys, end of Space Wolves turn 1. We've made some advances forward. We were a little bit crippled in our first turn, but we have bounced back. Alright, so what do we do? Movement wise, this guy stayed up in his perch. These guys definitely advance forward, because that's why I take the assault bolters, so you can come running forward. Everything else here just moved. This guy did advance forward, so he was back here, and he's these guys over here were kind of pinned down, so we'll go through that. So Psychic Phase, Bjorn come over and cast Living Lightning on the guys there, killed 3 of them. He went to cast Smite, but it was denied by this guy. But then these guys did cut the last couple down and got to advance forward, but it's slowed them to a halt where they aren't able to move forward. So now they're probably going to get assaulted by this giant bug freak right here. So that's pretty much what happened on this side of the field. Then over here, the Lone Wolf and Bjorn blew away one of the Carnifexes. And then the rest of these guys, like all the small guys, so Assault Bolter guys and Grey Hunters, shot across and killed 2 of the guys in this unit, but then obviously they're synapse, so they don't go anywhere. So, at the end of the Space Wolves turn, 4 points as well. So both armies are on 4 points at the end of this turn, and all sort of heading towards this gestation pool in the middle. So, we'll get on with Tyranid turn 2 and see what they can do. Alright guys, end of Tyranid turn 2. And at the start of their turn, they held this objective and this objective here still because of this guy. So in their command phase, they got another 4 points. Movement wise, these 2 Carnifexes ran forward into the centre here. These guys moved on to this objective, and Swarmlord's all the way up in here. Psychic power wise, Swarmlord got Catalyst off, but he rolled double 6, so he wounded himself in the process, and he got Horror off on the other unit. Now, there was a fight that went down in here, and we'll get back to it in a second. We'll go through the shooting first. Alright, so this guy shot over and he killed 2 of the Thunderwolves that were there. These guys, and this guy all shot into here and killed 1 Primaris Marine. Just like, it was not a good roll for the well, actually it was a good roll for the Tyranids, but it was an even better roll for the Space Wolves. But just no good. But anyway, then over here, Swarmlord ran in. The first round of combat, he did no damage. The Broodlord also ran in as well, and he did no damage. Then obviously Ragnar jumped in with his, because they get a 6-inch heroic intervention. He cut down the Broodlord, and then Jakey Boy paid 3 command points to fight again with the Swarmlord and cut down the rest of the Thunderwolves. So it was one of those like weird back and forth situations where heaps of command points are getting spent and not a lot's happening. I chose not to consolidate into the Swarmlord because it's going into our turn next turn, so I would rather get a charge off and get those extra things. But he's done a good move here. He's had a good turn. He's got some points, but at the same time, that was probably the pesky bit that he needed to remove them. But anyway, we'll get on with it, and we'll have Space Wolves turn 2. Alright guys, end of Space Wolves turn 2.
And the Space Wolves have come forward, stomping and a romping. Alright, first things first, movement wise, there was only a little bit of movement over here. Not a lot happened because, well, not a lot happened. The Swarm Lord stood in our way. Right, over this way, these guys have made a massive press forward. So, points wise, at the start of the turn they held this one. And they held this one. So they got 4 points. So both armies are actually on 8 points at this current juncture. Shooting wise, well, Space Wolves really only had this, which failed. Didn't do any damage at all. Tried to shoot at one of the Carnifexes. It was this Carnifex that tried to shoot at. Then Bjorn tried to shoot at this Carnifex and had, I think he did 1 wound. Then these guys that ran up here, and they didn't shoot because they ran. So, these guys, they only had to go from here to here. So they moved in, they shot into this guy. And they took, I think, 1 wound off him. So, pretty much what's happened is everything's happened in assault. So over here, these guys assaulted into Swarm Lord. First they did some psychic powers on him, did nothing. He just denied it all. They ran in. Ragnar took a couple of wounds off him, so he's on 5 now. Oh, sorry, taken 5 now. But then as soon as Ragnar attacked, Jakey Boy interrupted, paid the 3 bloody command points, and cut Ragnar down. Then, old mate Bjorn, sorry, not Bjorn, Meow, Meow, it sounds like a cat, doesn't it? Meow, attacked back and did nothing. So, this guy's just still here, and that's not good for Space Wolves at all. Coming over here, these 2 Dreadnoughts ran through one of the Carnifexes, just carved him down. Well, it wasn't even 2 Dreadnoughts, this guy just single-handedly done it, he just cut him down. Then these guys ran in, Power Fist went off, all hits, all wounds, but he's still on 1 wound. He's taken 7, but he's still in here. But the bad news is these guys are troops and this guy's a monster. But hey, we'll see what happens. So at the end of Space Wolf's turn, it was a pretty hectic turn, pretty good turn, but now we'll see what the Tyranids can do back in turn 3. So we'll get back to you and see what the bugs can do. Alright, end of Tyranids turn 2. And they have come back hard. So, there's not a lot of models left on the table, but the things that are on the table did what they needed to do. So, first things first. Movement phase, there was these guys moved towards the centre. That was about the size of it really actually. That was it, yeah, they moved towards the centre. Psychic phase over here. It just all got shut down by Niall. And that was that. So there was no psychic phase. Niall was just like, nah mate, beep, calling a storm into your brain. So couldn't do anything about it, couldn't fight it off. Even the Swarm Lord, this ginormous bug, couldn't psychically fight Niall. So, shooting wise, Jakey Boy paid Pathogenic Slime on this, and that adds 1 to the damage roll, so it made it damage 3 weapons. Then he shot over into here and killed the Wolf and Dreadnought. The rest of these guys, so this guy and these guys before assaulting, shot at this guy. The Carnifex that was here tried to shoot into combat. Obviously then combat ensued. These guys charged in and cut down 1 of the Primaris Marines. Those things have just been solid this game. And then over here, this guy slapped Niall down. He also used the regeneration stratagem on this guy, and he healed 1 wound, and he also re-rolled it to only roll a 1 again. So at the end of his turn, he held, sorry, at the start of his turn at the command phase, he held this one, and he had that one, so he actually got 6 points. So he's currently on 14 points to the Space was 4, so that's that little bit of a leg up. Now, so in the centre here, that's where it's all going to go down, because that thing's worth 5 points. But the Warriors are troops, and the Intercessors are troops. So he needs to get in there and make sure that those Warriors are gone, or this thing's going to go on like Donkey Kong. Alright, we'll get back to you. Space Wolf's turn. Turn 3. Let's go. Alright guys, end of Space Wolf's turn 3, and it was a bit of a hectic one. So, what went down? First things first, movement. These guys kind of just huddled around this one. Intercessors stayed here. And Bjorn is all the way over here, so we'll get back to that. This guy also moved down here. So at the start of the turn, the Space Wolves were only holding one objective, which was this one. So they're actually only on 10 points, and the Tyranids are still on 14 points. This guy shot and didn't do a whole great deal. Again, even though he's got rerolls to hit and rerolls to wound. These guys and Bjorn's Flamer finished off this guy. Bjorn shot his las cannon into the X-Creen, did nothing, but then he ran in and cleansed it. He's just like, oi, brah, BAM! Then over here, there was a bit of a back and forth in here. One of these Tyranid warriors got wounded, one of the Primaris Marines got smoted, but no one lost any of their morale or anything like that. So this is just a contested in the middle. It's just Primaris Marines punching on with warriors, and it's bloody fantastic. So at the end of the Space Wolves turn, the best thing that happened was Bjorn done what Bjorn does. Las cannons to the face, flames to the face, true core to the face. Don't come round here with your bloody Tyranid shit. Alright, we'll move back on to the Tyranid turn, and we'll see what they can do, because this guy is still here. Alright guys, we'll get back to you. Alright guys, end of Tyranid's turn, and they've kicked some serious ass in this turn. So, first things first, Swarmlord come down here. He used the stratagem to regenerate him, and it regenerated him up to the, so he'd only lost one wound, because he got a 5, which gave him 3 back. Then these guys couldn't shoot because they were in there, but while he was here, he psychic powered in with Smite and killed a guy. Then these guys cleared out the rest of the guys. They just chopped them down. Then he ran down here and he chopped into Bjorn. He took 5 wounds off him. Then Bjorn got an opportunity to attack back, but only took, as you can see here, 5 wounds back off him. But then he paid the command points to fight again and cut Bjorn down. So my poor Bjorn has just been annihilated by this giant beast that just won't fuck off. That's the problem with Swarmlord. If you leave him on the table late game, you're going to get punished. At the start of the turn, they were only holding one objective, so they are now on 16 points, with the Space Wolves trailing on 10 points. But we'll go and have the Space Wolves next turn and see what happens. There's not many of them left. It's just these guys and the Lone Wolf. So we'll see if they can't bring it back around and do some sort of magic. Alright, we'll get back to you. Alright guys, end of Space Wolf's turn. And first things first, there's something Jake just pointed out that it did. I completely forgot about my blood cores, which should be destroyed at this point. Because he's a good bloke, he just said to me, when I play an ITC here, mate, just bring them on. They came on, they tried to charge the Swarmlord, they didn't do anything anywhere, so they're just standing there. But I think that's good, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, good game skills, not being a dickhead about it. But at the same time, I can accept if he turned around and said that I couldn't do it. Own your own mistakes, people. If you fuck up on the battlefield, it happens. Anyway, so this guy shot over into the Swarmlord, did nothing. Bounced off his chitin armor. These guys charged in and killed one of these guys, but then in retaliation lost half of their squad. So even though Jakey Boy has let me bring my blood cores on late game, even though I stuffed that up, I'm still getting my head kicked in. These warriors in the center here are just going off. They started off like they weren't doing a whole deal, but now they're just bloody crushing heads, and on my turn. So at the end of the Space Wolves turn, we're on 12. But Jakey Boy is on like bloody, he's still on 16. So coming in the next turn, I suppose he's going to be holding, it's not a good, it's an uphill battle. Let's see what happens. Hopefully my hammer guy over there that shouldn't even be on the battlefield can fight back. So, we'll see what happens in the center here with the Tyranids. And you need to pull your finger out, mate. You've done nothing. I paid a stratagem for you. Seriously, we need to have a talk. Alright, we'll get back to the Tyranids' turn and we'll see what happens. Alright, mate. End of the Tyranids' turn, and Jake has exuded his dominance. He's kicked my head in that many times with Death Guard. I didn't expect him to retaliate like this with the old Tyranids. He's definitely learning too many tactics. I'm kicking him off the fucking channel. You're out, mate. Alright, at the end of this, pretty much, these things here chomped out the Marines that were near. No more. And then Swarm Lord, even though he gave me a leg up and let me bring my blood claws on, which I completely forgot about, which was just Sportsmanship Award of the Year. This guy just ran in and crushed him anyway. So, at this current juncture, he's sitting on this. These guys are sitting on this. And the only thing I have left is this. So, there's no possible way that I can catch up to his points, because he's 6 points ahead of where I'm at. Like, it's not possible at this point. So that is a solid Tyranid victory. Lone Wolf, you suck. Don't say it. No, they're really good normally. Tyranid Warriors, like, I thought it was going to be the Gene Seals that turned it up on me, and Jakey Boys turned it up on me with the bloody Warriors. And Swarm Lord, because he managed to get me guns out of the way early on, like I didn't have missiles and las cannons firing at him. That was his most strategic play. I don't need to tell you who's man of the match here. I hope he's enjoyed this game. It was, to be honest, I think a couple of turns ago, I bloody sunk my heels in like I've got this smoked, and then he come back and did a few little manoeuvres. He's only got 3 Tyranids, but this is an infestation that they have definitely earned. So, there you go. This kid can play more than one army. Alright, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this, because I'm sore. It's like I've definitely got a finger in the bum, no lube here. Oh, too easy. Alright, guys, we'll get back to yous. Hope you've enjoyed it. We'll put some more stuff together. Hopefully you're enjoying the custom missions we're putting together. And we'll keep them coming. Alright, be safe out there, and we'll get back to yous with more stuff.